Imagine you're standing with your friends and suddenly someone makes a comment about your clothes, the way you talk, or some weakness of yours. Everyone bursts out laughing at that moment, and your mind just goes completely blank, totally empty. You know you should say something back, but no words come to you. Then later when you're alone, a whole bunch of clever comebacks start running through your head. But sadly, by then it's way too late. That's how it is. This doesn't just happen to you, it happens to everyone. Today we're going to break it down and really understand what's going on. I've split this video into 5 parts to make it super clear for you. First, we'll figure out why this empty-headed situation even happens. Second, what you should do when it happens. Third, how to shut the other person up. Fourth, which is my favorite and also pretty dangerous, but I'm not going to reveal it. And fifth, a practical solution without which the first 4 points don't mean much. But first, stop thinking you're slow. Either your brain doesn't work fast enough, or what's happening to you in that moment has nothing to do with your intelligence. It's a biochemical reaction. There's a small part in your brain called the amygdala. It's your old primal brain. Its job is to spot danger. When someone makes fun of you, especially in front of others, it sees that as a social attack or threat. It reacts the same way as if you suddenly came face to face with a lion in the wild. As soon as it senses this threat, the amygdala takes control of your brain. It takes over. It bypasses your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that thinks and reasons. All your resources get thrown into fight, flight, or freeze responses. And in most social situations, your system goes for the freeze response. Your mind goes blank. Your tongue stumbles because your logical brain, the part that's supposed to come up with answers, shuts down. Your system goes into social shock, not because you're slow, but because your brain is wired for survival from millions of years ago. He's working on the mechanism. Now let's talk about dark psychology. The person who made fun of you might have said it just as a joke, but whether knowingly or unknowingly, he was playing a power game. He was trying to establish his status over you in the social circle. By lowering your status in front of others, his status automatically rises above yours. When people laugh, they're basically giving his stubbornness a thumbs up. People want to see if you can fight back. Are you an easy target? And when hours later you finally think of the perfect comeback, that's your logical brain kicking in, which goes fully online once the danger has passed. It keeps replaying the situation over and over, trying to figure out exactly where things went wrong and how to avoid it next time. But this whole process ends up feeling like a punishment, like an endless loop of regret. Imagine someone made fun of you and everyone started laughing. Your first reaction is to panic and try to say something, but that's exactly what you shouldn't do. Instead, say nothing. Stay completely calm. Keep your body language straight, shoulders back, and he laughed it off, but look into his eyes. Not with anger, but with this strange mix of curiosity and analysis, like you're not just hearing his words, but reading his real intentions, his weaknesses. That silence makes the other person super uncomfortable. He expected some reaction, anger, embarrassment, or a weak comeback, but you gave him nothing. Now the spotlight shifted from you to him. People start thinking, maybe he said something wrong. He'll probably try to fill the silence with more words, maybe even an explanation. And you're just there like, hey, I was only joking. He was about to say something. The moment he said that, you know he lost. Without saying a word, you've completely flipped the situation. This is a power move. You're basically telling him that what he said isn't important enough for you to react right away. This is my personal favorite and a great example of dark psychology. When someone throws a jab at you, instead of getting angry or upset, put on an innocent, curious face and ask them a question. Say, for example, someone comments on your weight. Instead of snapping back, calmly ask, "I didn't quite get that. Can you explain this a bit more? Or what's so funny about it?" Now watch what happens. You took the grenade from his hand and gave it right back to him. Now he has to explain his lame joke. And when someone explains a joke dies. All the timing and punchline go out the window. He'll stutter. "Oh no, just ask him like that, all innocent and stuff. No, I really want to understand what he was thinking behind it." With this technique, you did two things. One, you dissected his joke and burst his bubble. Two, it shows the person as someone who hurts others without thinking. You become the judge of the victim. Have you seen a power check? This is a bit advanced and needs confidence. What you do is agree with their joke or accusation, but exaggerate it so much that it sounds ridiculous. For example, if someone says, "You're always late," the response isn't, "No, today there was traffic," or "I was late because of that." The response is, "Yeah, that's true." Actually, I'm researching time travel and often end up landing in the wrong time zone. I'm working on it. If someone makes fun of your clothes and asks, "What are you wearing?" just tell them, "This isn't fashion. It's a psychological experiment." I'm watching how people react to videos. Your reaction was pretty predictable. What did you do? You absorbed the attack and turned it in a direction they weren't ready for. You showed that you're totally comfortable with your flaws, or you can just make fun of them yourself. How can anyone put down a person who doesn't care about their own flaws? That's the ultimate confidence. These tricks are for small, cheap jokes. Your goal here is to show that what the other person said is so worthless, it didn't even register in your mind. If someone comments on you, completely ignore it. Don't even pause for a second. As soon as they finish, start talking to someone else in the group about a totally different topic. Yeah, so like I was saying, in last night's match, the social humiliation the other guy felt was intense. You non-verbally sent the message that both you and what you say are irrelevant to me. You don't even exist. That's a high-status move. It shows your mind is focused on bigger, more important things. And little things like that don't grab your attention. And yeah, to pull off all these techniques, you need practice. Practice every day in front of a mirror. Run through scenarios in your mind. Create. The goal isn't to become a perfect comeback artist. The real goal is to rewire your freeze response. When you have 1, 2, or 3 ready strategies, your mind doesn't freeze. It knows what to do. If you're watching the video this far, congrats. You're ahead of 99% of people who can't focus at all. Now, if you want the second part, drop a comment below.